Have you ever wondered what really differentiates a person who has been chosen by God spiritually from others? What makes someone so special that they receive a unique purpose, while others don't feel this call in the same way? In this video, we'll explore in depth what it means to be a chosen one, what spiritual differences these people have, and, most importantly, how these characteristics can transform their lives and those around them. Watching this video can open your eyes to signs that you may have noticed in your own life, but didn't know how to interpret. Do you possess the characteristics of one of God's chosen ones? And if so, how can you live out this purpose to the full? Get ready to discover answers that can help you better understand your spiritual path and God's call for your life. So let's get straight to the point. Do you feel that there is something about you that makes you different? Something that perhaps connects you directly to a greater purpose? What does it really mean to be God's chosen? Are there unique characteristics and traits that make these people stand out spiritually? This is a subject that raises curiosity and awakens deep questions in those who seek to understand their own purpose. If you've ever found yourself thinking that there's something special about your life, something that connects you to a greater purpose, perhaps it's not just a coincidence. For many, feeling chosen means being connected to a divine plan that gives greater meaning to existence. But why would God choose certain people for a special mission? And what is different about them? Let's explore these questions and discover the spiritual differences that make these people unique. Throughout this video, we'll look at the most striking characteristics of the chosen ones, the challenges they face, and how they impact the world around them. This will help you identify signs that may indicate the call in your own life. You may be going through experiences that are part of this purpose, and perhaps you haven't realized it yet. Imagine discovering that the difficulties and trials you went through are actually shaping you for something much greater. There are deep spiritual differences that characterize the chosen ones, and understanding these characteristics can bring a new perspective on your own path, helping you to align with the purpose God may have for you. In this video, we'll also look at biblical examples and inspiring stories of people who were called by God. They have walked a path full of challenges, but have left an unforgettable and transformative impact. More than understanding what sets the chosen apart, this video will help you connect with your own faith and what you may be destined to accomplish. After all, every chosen one has a purpose that reflects divine love and justice. So, if you identify with this feeling of being here for something greater, stay until the end. We're going to clarify what characterizes a true chosen one of God and how to live this mission to the full. Are you ready to find out more about what differentiates the spiritually chosen from the rest? Let's delve into this topic together, and maybe you'll find the answers you've been looking for on your own journey. The idea of being one of God's chosen has deep roots in faith and spiritual teachings, present in various religious traditions. But what does it really mean? Being a chosen one goes far beyond being a devout person. It's about having a unique purpose that aligns with God's will. Many believe that the chosen are people predestined for a special mission, who live to fulfill a greater, transcendent role. In the Bible, for example, we find figures such as Moses, David, and Paul, who are uniquely called to accomplish great deeds. God's choice does not depend on merit, nor is it reserved only for those who seem to be ready. In fact, in many cases, God chooses ordinary people who wouldn't necessarily stand out in the eyes of others. He sees in them the potential to transform their lives and impact those of others. This spiritual call is also seen by many as something that can manifest itself at different times in life. Some perceive it from an early age, while others only understand its purpose after years of searching or through remarkable experiences. One of the first characteristics of a chosen one is the feeling of connection to something greater, a mission or responsibility that seems to weigh heavily on the heart and mind. This doesn't mean that this person understands exactly what they have to do from the start, but there is a conviction that their life has a special meaning. Another essential aspect is that this spiritual call is often accompanied by clear signs. These signs can include a greater sensitivity to understanding the needs of the people around them, an unceasing search for justice and compassion, and a sense of spiritual responsibility. The concept of the chosen is not limited to great religious leaders or historical figures. Many of God's chosen are scattered around the world, playing important roles in everyday life, be they parents, educators, caregivers, or even those who bring peace and guidance to others anonymously. The Bible shows that God chooses both those with strength and determination and those with humility and unwavering faith. He doesn't demand perfection. On the contrary, he seems to prefer those who are humble in spirit because they are open to growing, learning, and listening to his voice. This leads us to reflect on ways of recognizing this call in our lives. It often appears as a restlessness, a desire to help, to transform, to do something that benefits others. This constant search for a greater purpose is a powerful sign. Curiously, many of those chosen don't feel worthy of this calling. They question themselves, doubt themselves, and sometimes even try to escape this responsibility. This resistance is common, as the mission given to them often challenges their own view of themselves and their capabilities. The spiritual call also involves an ability to listen to God, or a strong spiritual intuition that guides them. The chosen often feel that there is a greater force guiding their decisions, even when the path seems uncertain or challenging. In many cases, the call manifests itself through a drastic life change. Some people, upon being chosen, abandon old practices and addictions, redirecting their energy toward actions that reflect divine love and justice. Those who identify themselves as chosen usually have a high spiritual sensitivity and a strong need for prayer and connection with God. They feel that without this connection, their life loses meaning, as this is the force that guides them in their daily missions. In conclusion, to understand the concept of a chosen one is ultimately to understand that this journey is not easy, but it is full of meaning. Being God's chosen means giving up one's ego to connect to something greater and serve others, living in a way that is aligned with a divine purpose. God's chosen have spiritual characteristics that set them apart and highlight their special calling. These characteristics are not just personality traits, but evidence of a deep and unique connection with divine purpose. One of the first characteristics observed in the chosen is unshakable faith. Even in the midst of the greatest difficulties, they trust God completely and manage to remain calm in crisis situations, knowing that he has a greater plan. Another outstanding characteristic is resilience. The chosen often face challenges that seem insurmountable, but they manage to overcome them with impressive inner strength. This resilience is a reflection of their trust in God and their spiritual preparation to face difficulties. The chosen also have a high spiritual sensitivity. They can perceive things beyond the obvious and have an intuition that helps them make important decisions. This intuition is often seen as the very voice of God guiding them. Love for others is another essential characteristic. The chosen ones feel a strong need to help, console, and support others. This altruistic love is a way of demonstrating God's love and reflects their commitment to serving and transforming lives. Humility is fundamental in the lives of the chosen ones. They know that they are instruments of something greater, and that their strength comes not from themselves, but from God. This humility allows them to stay connected to their purpose without letting pride get in the way. Another trait is compassion. The chosen ones are often sensitive to the suffering of others and feel a need to alleviate the pain of those around them. This compassion moves them to act in an empathetic and caring way. The ability to forgive is a unique quality of the chosen ones. They are able to forgive even in difficult situations, understanding that forgiveness is a path to liberation and a way of demonstrating divine mercy. The chosen also possess an inner peace that is hard to shake. Even in times of difficulty, they manage to remain calm and trust that everything is under divine control. This peace is a reflection of God's presence in their lives. In addition, the chosen have an incessant desire for wisdom. They seek to learn more about God's Word and how to apply it to their lives. This desire for wisdom helps them stay focused on what really matters. Courage is a strong trait among the chosen. Even when they face situations of great risk, they carry on bravely, trusting that God will strengthen and protect them in their missions. They also have a spiritual strength that inspires those around them. Their presence brings security and hope, and people often feel strengthened and motivated by the way they deal with life. A sense of justice is deeply rooted in the chosen ones. They fight for what is right, even if it means going against the current. This quest for justice is a reflection of God's will to bring balance and fairness to the world. The chosen are open to spiritual growth. They understand that the spiritual journey is continuous and are willing to learn and evolve, accepting God's teachings and corrections in their lives. A common characteristic is a willingness to sacrifice. The chosen ones are often willing to put the needs of others above their own and to sacrifice themselves for the greater good, even if it means personal challenges. They have a keen spiritual awareness. The chosen are able to discern what is in line with God's purpose and avoid paths that could divert their mission. The chosen also have a deep gratitude in their hearts. They recognize that everything they have and are comes from God, and this gratitude makes them joyful and thankful people, even in difficult times. Finally, perseverance is one of the strongest characteristics of the chosen. They don't give up easily on their missions, even when they encounter obstacles. Perseverance helps them to keep going, knowing that their purpose is worth every effort. Being chosen by God is an honorable calling, but it brings unique challenges that test the faith and determination of those who receive this mission. One of the first challenges is a sense of isolation, as the chosen often feel they don't fit in with the world around them. Another challenge is persecution. In various traditions and biblical accounts, we see that the chosen ones face opposition, criticism, and, in some cases, even physical persecution. These adversities are part of the process of spiritual strengthening and show the price of following a divine call. Doubt is a constant in the lives of the chosen ones. Even though they know their purpose, they often wonder if they are on the right path or if they are really worthy of their mission. This doubt serves to strengthen faith, but it can also be an intense test. Detachment is a common trial. In order to follow their mission, the chosen often have to leave behind things and even people they love, choosing the path that God has laid out for them. This process of letting go is not easy, but it is necessary so that they can focus on their purpose. Humility is also a great challenge. Being chosen by God can sometimes arouse feelings of pride. However, the chosen are called to remain humble, remembering that their mission is not for their own glory, but to reflect God's will. Another challenge is dealing with one's own faults and imperfections. The chosen ones are ordinary people with flaws and limitations. Knowing that they have a greater mission often makes them feel the weight of their own weaknesses, which can be difficult to accept. Patience is essential for those who are chosen, as the results of their spiritual work are often not immediate. They need to learn to wait for God's timing, knowing that things will happen at the right time, even if they take time. Spiritual discipline is a continuous trial. The chosen ones need to maintain a life of prayer, meditation, and study in order to always be aligned with God. This discipline requires effort and dedication, especially when other distractions try to get them off track. In addition, the chosen often face temptation. As they are seen as examples and references, they are often the target of situations that test their faith and values. Resisting these temptations is a constant battle. Finally, many of the chosen experience periods of spiritual desert, where they feel distant from God and face crises of faith. This desert is a test of perseverance and trust, which serves to purify and strengthen their spirituality. One of the deepest challenges for the chosen ones is to bear the weight of other people's expectations. Often, the people around them expect them to always make the right decisions and be perfect models of faith. This pressure can be overwhelming, as they too are human and liable to fail. In addition, the chosen ones may face incomprehension from people close to them, such as friends and family. Not everyone understands or supports the call they have received, which can result in conflicts and even loneliness. This isolation, although painful, strengthens the chosen one's connection with God. The chosen also have to deal with personal sacrifices. Following the path that God has laid out often involves giving up personal dreams and goals, and this can be one of the most difficult aspects, as they need to trust that God's plans are better than their own. Courage is constantly tested, especially when the chosen one has to defend their values in hostile environments or in the face of people who reject their mission. Standing firm in your beliefs despite opposition is one of the great tests of faith and resilience. Responsibility towards those you inspire is another significant burden. Many see the chosen ones as spiritual guides, and any mistake they make can have a profound impact on other people. Knowing that your actions influence the faith of others is a burden that requires maturity and self-awareness. Another intense challenge is enduring financial or material trials. Many chosen people face periods of scarcity as part of the process of depending on God. These trials teach them to trust that He will provide what is needed, even in difficult times. God's chosen also have to deal with frustrations and unmet expectations. Sometimes they have a clear vision of what they want to achieve in their mission, but they face barriers that seem to impede progress. This is an important lesson in submitting to God's will. Emotional discipline is a requirement, as the chosen ones face many internal battles, such as sadness, fear, and frustration. Remaining calm and confident, even when feelings are intense, is a way of strengthening faith. An ongoing test for the chosen ones is to maintain gratitude, especially in difficult times. Even in the midst of trials, they are called to give thanks, trusting that each experience is part of God's plan for their spiritual growth. Finally, the chosen face the challenge of keeping hope alive. Their mission often requires a long-term vision, where the fruits of their efforts can take time to manifest. Hope helps them to stand firm and move forward, even when the path seems barren and without answers. God's chosen ones not only follow a special purpose, but also generate a significant impact on the lives of those around them. This impact is one of the clearest ways to recognize the divine presence in their missions. One of the ways this impact manifests itself is through the inspiration they offer. The strength, faith, and resilience of the chosen ones serve as an example to those who accompany them, showing that it is possible to live with purpose and dignity, even in the midst of difficulties. The chosen also often play a spiritual leadership role in their communities. This leadership is not always formal, but because of the wisdom and sensitivity they carry, they naturally guide and advise others, helping them to find paths of peace and meaning. In addition, the chosen ones have the ability to transform environments. Wherever they are, they bring light and a pacifying presence that comforts and motivates those around them. This is because the mission they carry allows them to connect with others in a deep and genuine way. Another aspect of the chosen one's impact is the way they bring clarity and direction to those seeking answers. They can see what others often don't, helping people to find purpose in their own lives and overcome crises of faith. In times of crisis, the chosen ones often stand out for their courage and determination to help. They feel God's call to act in situations of emergency and suffering, and their example inspires others to act selflessly and in solidarity. The compassion of the chosen ones makes them deeply involved with those who need help. This involvement goes beyond words. They are ready to offer true and unconditional support, touching the hearts of those who feel lost or helpless. The teachings they share leave a lasting impression on people's lives. Even if it's through a simple conversation, the chosen ones speak with wisdom and a deep understanding that resonates with those who listen, planting seeds of faith and transformation. Another way in which the chosen ones impact the world is through their integrity. In a world that often seems to get lost in confused values, the chosen ones maintain a standard of truth and honesty that generates respect and admiration. They also help build a network of faith and spiritual support. The chosen ones are like pillars in communities and inspire those around them to unite and help each other. In doing so, they strengthen unity between people and promote an environment of love and respect. Through their actions and examples, the chosen ones also awaken people's faith. Even those who are far from spirituality feel touched and question their own beliefs, often embarking on a path of self-knowledge and spiritual transformation. Finally, God's chosen ones leave a spiritual legacy. The impact they have on people's lives continues even after their journey is over. This legacy, marked by love, faith, and dedication to the divine purpose, becomes an example and a guide for future generations.